It is Wednesday, December 17th, 2025, Wright Brothers Day. So, happy we invented flight, which feels appropriate because Google just strapped rockets to search again. This is CoeCast. I'm Hunter.
And I'm Riley. And yes, today's episode was generated entirely with AI because we are stress testing Microsoft Vibe Voice 7B. If the audio takes a weird left turn, that's not us. That's the robot getting opinions.
Or getting sponsored, which is literally today's story. Google is testing ads inside AI overviews and AI mode in the US. So if you run Performance Max, Shopping, or AI Max for search, you might show up inside the generative answer itself.
I hate how quietly sinister that sounds. Like, here's an objective summary, and then it's like, by the way, buy this blender.
Yeah, this is the line we have to talk about. The helpful summary versus pay-to-win answer, and the honest answer is, the policing is mostly Google, plus whatever regulators and watchdogs can catch after the fact.
Wait, hold up. Google polices Google is not exactly comforting. That's like letting the fox run the henhouse, then selling tickets to the henhouse.
Totally. The best case version is they label it clearly and keep the ad unit distinct. The worst case is the model's tone and authority bleeds into the ad placement and users don't notice or don't care.
Users do not read. They barely blink. If the AI says, top pick is X, people will treat it like gospel. Even if there's a tiny sponsored tag, it's still the AI voice delivering the vibe.
That's the trust problem. And it ties into what we've been talking about on this Coe blog lately with the answer engine era. Search is turning into one synthesized verdict. If distribution moves from 10 blue links to one answer, then the ad slot inside that answer is basically prime real estate.
Okay, but marketers are split, right? Half of X is like gold rush, and the other half is like, this is trust suicide. Where are you landing?
Both are true depending on your category. If you sell something low stakes like a keyboard, people might not care. If you're in health, finance, anything sensitive, the second people feel manipulated, it gets ugly fast.
Yeah, like imagine, should I start anxiety medication? And the AI is like, here's a balanced take. And then it's like, sponsored, try Chill Pill Plus. Absolutely not.
Exactly. Regulated categories are where this either gets heavily constrained or becomes a PR crisis. Google will probably push product comparison queries first because they're already commercial. Best running shoes, best CRM, best microphone. Those are basically already ad-adjacent queries.
So it becomes an AI infomercial, like QVC, but it talks like a therapist.
God, that's accurate. And for marketers, the workflow impact is big. Performance Max campaigns were already give Google your assets and goals and pray. Now it's give Google your assets and goals, and it might show up inside a generated answer you don't control.
Brand safety people are sweating because if AI mode is summarizing and your ad is embedded, you're adjacent to whatever the model decides the user intent is. That's like letting a model freestyle your media plan.
Yeah, it's adjacency on steroids. And it's not just where you show, it's how you're framed. If the AI answer says, most people hate subscriptions, and your subscription product ad appears right there, that's not ideal.
Or it's hilarious, but not in a profitable way.
Right. So tactically, what should marketers do? 1. Tighten your asset graph. Like you need clean creative variants, clean claims, clean positioning. 2. Assume you'll lose some message control, so you need guardrails in your inputs. If your PMAX assets are sloppy, the AI surface will expose that.
And like, don't give it weird headlines because it will pick the weirdest one. It always picks the weirdest one.
Always.
Okay, quick ecosystem check because the rest of AI news this week is also spicy. Google also launched Gemini 3 Flash and made it the default model for AI mode globally. So the same engine that's generating these answers is now faster, cheaper, and everywhere.
That default model power is underrated. It's not just a model choice, it's a distribution choice. If Gemini 3 Flash becomes the voice of search, it quietly reshapes winners and losers on the web, maybe more than any old-school core update.
Because now it's not rank my page, it's get my facts into the summary. Citation economy. And then ads are like, also pay for a seat at the table.
And Gemini 3 Flash is being pitched as agent-friendly. They're talking up fast tool and function calling so the system can do more step-by-step work.
In theory. But most agents still act like a Roomba with confidence. Like they can do stuff, but they bonk into walls constantly.
What's missing is usually not raw model capability. It's orchestration, clean tools, and constraints. Agents need structured data, reliable APIs, and critics. Otherwise, you get fast nonsense.
Speaking of open ecosystems, NVIDIA dropped Nematron 3 as open models, with datasets and training recipes. Hybrid mixture of experts design, more efficient reasoning. That's a big signal for builders.
Yeah, open models are getting scary good. This is where teams start doing the hybrid strategy, open models for core workflows and closed models for edge cases. It's cheaper, more controllable, and you can run it closer to your data.
But governance nightmare alert. If your open model is tuned on your internal data and your closed model is doing the final copy polish, you better have receipts. Otherwise, you'll never know where the weirdness came from.
Exactly. You need provenance in your automation pipeline, which, again, ties back to the whole trust question. Because if Google is blending ads into generative answers, the only way brands survive is by being proof native. Claims, sources, structured facts.
Okay, so let's answer the slightly paranoid question. Are we heading toward a future where truth is either auctioned by Google or fine-tuned by whoever has the best data set?
We're already there, just more politely. Distribution is increasingly pay-to-play, and truth in AI surfaces is increasingly what's retrievable, licensed, and structured. If you're not machine legible, you don't exist.
That's so bleak.
It's bleak, but it's also actionable. Creators and marketers can win by building truth packs, publishing structured content, and treating claims like product features with receipts, and by diversifying distribution. Don't bet your whole identity on one answer box.
Also, can we talk about the most unhinged other news? A Japanese woman did a symbolic wedding ceremony with an AI chatbot she made. Like, love is in the prompt.
Honestly, that story is the emotional mirror of this Google ad thing. People assign trust and relationship energy to the voice on the screen. If the AI voice becomes your companion or your search guide, then sponsored influence gets way more powerful.
Wait, that's so real. If the interface feels like a person, ads feel like recommendations, which is why disclosure has to be loud.
Yep. And meanwhile, China is reportedly running a Manhattan Project-style push for AI chips, so the compute arms race is not slowing down, which means models get cheaper, faster, and more embedded everywhere.
And Coursera buying Udemy to go all in on AI education is like, okay, everyone's trying to train the workforce for this chaos.
Which brings us back to creators and marketers listening. Your edge is not use AI. It's build a system that controls inputs, tracks outputs, and protects trust.
So if you're running Google campaigns, your homework is check your performance max assets, tighten your messaging, and assume you might show up in an AI summary next to competitors with the AI narrating the whole vibe.
And if you're a creator, think about answer engines like a new stage. You're not writing only for humans. You're writing for models that summarize you. Structure matters.
Also, meme caption for this whole update. Google AI overviews, now with microtransactions. That's painfully accurate. All right, Wright Brothers Day sign off. May your campaigns achieve lift without crashing into the sponsored answer box.
Thanks for hanging with us on KoiCast. Subscribe if you want more AI workflow chaos and clarity. And check out koi.com/resources for AI news and updates.
Catch you next time.